going to freak women out, but women actually love to talk about that stuff, and they really have fun with it. So that, okay. Here's another question, and this is, we talk about in one of our books about pickup lines. You know, pickup lines are generally pretty worthless, because what you want is you want to have an opening approach that opens up a conversation or a dialogue, and usually an approach, a pickup line like, you know, was your dad a baker because you got great buns, or something like that, is usually, it is an equivalent as a yes or no question. It lands over there and there's nothing for her to say in response. But one way to use a pickup line in a bar in a funny way is, you know, I'm doing some research on women, especially crazy women like you.
Oh, I'm crazy now.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay.
What is like the weirdest pickup line you've ever used, that some guys come up to and used on you? Be honest.
I don't know. That one you just said was pretty.
Oh, come on, that's so fucking lame. You've definitely had weirder pickup lines. Guys have used lame shit on you. Come on.
I had one guy say, "Were you born on a farm?" I don't really still know what that means, but it was some sort of pickup line.
I can't imagine how that would. Yeah, that's a great line. Write that one down.
Hey, baby, were you born on a farm?
Yeah, I don't really quite understand that.
I also wanted to point out just a very subtle thing in this. There's sort of the overarching just conversation they're having. But in terms of connecting and disconnecting, there's a disconnection when he said, yeah, you know, you're a crazy girl like you. And she said, oh, am I crazy now? And I think a lot of guys out there would have said, no, I'm just kidding, or something like that. They would have tried to soften it there. But Rhonda says, definitely, and then goes right on. So notice how you have a choice in those moments. You know, look at the times where you apologize to women for being playful, or when maybe you go a little bit too far, where you could just say, yeah, I said that, and then move on to something else and have it be okay.
Well, okay. Well, what pickup line do you think would work on you? I mean, to me, I think they're really funny. They're so immature and so dumb. Like, was your father an astronomer because he put all the stars in the world in your eyes, or, you know?
I haven't had those so much. Only back in like 8th grade or something.
Was your father
an astronomer?
An astronaut because your ass is out of this world?
Yeah, actually.
Does that work?
Yeah, that works. That one works.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So from there, what would you do with a guy?
If he just straight out said that to me?
I just said straight up, yeah.
Probably walk away.
So it wouldn't work?
No.
That was the question.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I want to point out here, if Ron is using pickup lines by not using pickup lines, and it's a pickup line. You know, it's a way to start a conversation, to use those lines to get something interesting going. And, you know, we've provided a lot of them for you. You can memorize a handful of the ones you find funniest. And notice how it's opening up this conversation. That's playful, fun, not too serious, great for a bar.
It's also very sexual, because you're saying, you know, what would work with you? And we're talking about her ass already. We're talking about all these kind of overtly sexual stuff, which is really an advantage of not using and using pickup lines.
Yeah, if you've ever found yourself being that guy who it seems like women never think sexual thoughts about or around, this kind of thing will help you become more of a guy who, well, you know, talking about sexy stuff is normal with this guy, so maybe being kind of sexy with him will be normal as well.
So you can ask something like, if you sit on my face, I can determine your weight within 3 seconds, or something like that. Would be a pickup line in a bar.
Right, that would be one to ask her about, not actually say.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that leads into another question, which I like quite a bit. If you had to choose between ADD and OCD, what would you have? Do you even know what those words mean? Like attention deficit disorder, or obsessive compulsive disorder? Which one would you choose?
I'd have ADD.
Well, you do have ADD. We know. Anybody watching this knows that, because your eyes are
all
darting.
over the place.
Fucking A, you're all over the place. So why would you choose ADD? Do you think, what's more fun about that?
You take Ritalin, right?
Well, you know I don't take Ritalin. I'm too old. That's for children mostly. But what's so exciting about ADD?
You can be spaced out and it's acceptable.
Okay, what do you think would be the best if you were going to have amazing sex? OCD, because you would pay attention to details and you'd be very pleasure center oriented, or do you think ADD when you're having sex would be hotter?
Probably ADD. OCD, you'd be too focused on everything else, and then you wouldn't be focused on...
There'd be like a little spot over
Right.
here or something, and you'd freak out.
Be like, I have to clean that up.
Yeah. Well, thank you. So you can see these hypothetical situations and these crazy, outrageous examples do work to a certain extent in terms of starting to generate a conversation. One way to think about this is you're always doing an approach that's either going to lead to more of a serious interaction or a silly interaction. And it really, in some ways, is a test of the woman and test of what her personality is like. So with Rita, she's pretty silly. Doing something like, what's the deepest thought you've ever had in your life is not going to be a way to turn her on or to really feel connected to her. While some women, if you're just being playful and silly, they're going to think you're an idiot. And they're going to wonder what your problem is. They're going to judge you as immature. So we're going to do a couple other approaches as well.
Oh, it's going.
So we've talked quite a bit about all of our material about the opening thing of what's the story behind that. And it's something that you can ask about anything a woman's wearing. And one thing that I recommend doing when you see a woman is you start looking at her from foot to head or head to foot, and you scan her body for things that might be interesting that you could ask her questions about. So if we were looking, she's got earrings, she's got her nose thing, her top, her jeans, her shoes, her socks, her rings, and you want to ask something that most people don't ask. If she has a humongous tattoo, like we've seen in other videos, that's something that they're asked a lot. But possibly, what's the story behind these boots? Do you kick people? Or why do you have your earrings hidden? Is there some secret microphone in them? Or when were you pierced in the nose when you were a child? Those might be things that would get her to open up and have a conversation. So were you nose pierced as a kid as a form of punishment when you were bad, or what happened?
Punishment? No, it's part of my religion.
What's your religion? The nose? The sacred nose?
I'm a Hindu.
You're Hindu? Mm-hmm. Well, how come you don't wear a thing on your...
Not married.
Okay, I want to jump in here for a second and just talk about how Ron is really establishing himself as someone who she can have fun with and not have to take things seriously with. Like, what's your religion? The religion of the nose? I mean, that what that shows is she's got a choice at that moment. She can either get offended or she can get playful, right? Those are her choices. And almost all the time, women are going to get playful in that situation, which is great. That's what you want. If she's going to get offended that easily, what's it going to be like when you make a pass at her? So it's a little bit of a test, but it also is guiding her down a direction of being more outrageous with you rather than being careful and proper.
You only do that when you're married?
Uh-huh. You're only supposed to.
But you see women all the time doing it as a fashion thing. Does that upset you?
Not really.
Do you ever feel like there's a bunch of yoga bitches out there who are stealing your culture and kind of raping and pillaging the traditions?
No, not really.
Hey, I like that. It works for me. I guess there's nothing else to be said, but I think it's great to be making more outrageous statements to get a reaction, to take something that she says and blow it out of proportion, which is one of the aspects of humor and what constitutes a joke.
Yeah, and also thinking about what's fun for you in the conversation. It looks like you're having fun saying that, and I think it contributes to the whole thing. Yoga bitches.
Well, what do you honestly feel then?
I get more upset about the nose thing because to me it actually means something, and to other people it's a fashion thing.
What does it mean?
It means that I'm of a certain social class.
And other people aren't? So
well, they just pierce it on whichever side they feel. I had to pierce it on this side.
Does your mom do it too?
Mm-hmm.
But no guys do it?
No.
I was reading this sex book, and they did a lot of guys actually pierce their testicles.
I had a friend who did that.
Yeah, what
very
happened?
alarming.
What happened? What kind of friend? Was this a boyfriend?
No, not my boyfriend, just a coworker.
Would you date a guy who had a pierced scrotum?
I don't think so.
Okay. That's good to know. It's strange that your friends would do that.
Yeah, but he pierced it like 5 times, and it would jingle in his pants when he walked.
It's really disturbing to think about that. Wow. So you really run with a sort of a tough crowd. It's interesting because on one hand you're telling me stories that your social class is important and your religion and the Hindu culture seems very conservative, and yet you're really running with this almost like dirtbag kind of crowd.
No, just I'm friends with whoever I want to be friends with. They don't have to be of a certain crowd or whatever.
Okay, let's talk about this for a second. I think it's important to show a woman that you have range. we've mentioned this in other places, that he shows he has a range between being really, really playful. He can be serious. He can also be really intelligent, right? This is an intelligent question. He had to structure it in his mind. It seems like you're saying this, but also this. So this shows a range of behavior that's way more interesting and intriguing to a woman than simply being one way.
But I'm also putting her on the spot.
Yeah.
Seems like you're this way, a.k.a. come towards me, you know.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bust her. I wanted her to have the experience of being on the spot and that I was in control of the interaction. Well, what is the story behind the boots? Do you kick people with them? I mean, it seems like that.
Sometimes they're pretty scuffed, huh?
I'm surprised you don't actually treat your shoes better. And I'm not sure how that really works in with the outfit. What were you thinking in terms of your outfit?
Just threw on whatever was comfortable.
I gotta jump in here. That's so great. You know, I'm kind of surprised you don't treat your shoes better. Not the biggest confrontation in the world, but for a woman, especially an attractive woman. Now this girl has guys groveling to her all the time for the slightest crumb of attention. So this is going to be really different for her. And it really is at the core of what bad boys do, is they make it so that the woman has to come to them for the guy's judgment, that she values his judgment and explains herself to him. So that's what's happening here.
I want you guys to also see how powerful it is to be speaking about a woman's clothing and how much heat that causes and how women do want to talk about it, how it kind of presses a button and they really want to respond like she's going to do, and how she has responded so far. But don't you ever think that when your outfit doesn't match, it makes a statement?
You say my outfit doesn't match?
Yeah, I am saying your outfit doesn't match. I'm not really sure how this, especially these white socks, which are like gym socks.
Well, no one sees your socks.
Huh. Well,
except for you who just left on my pant leg.
Mostly what I hear from women is that they try to have everything match, including their underwear. So in this outfit, you'd be wearing sort of like some kind of skimpy, sexy black thing, and matching everything, and it would all work. But I don't think you're thinking that way.
It depends on the day. If I want to feel really sexy and...
Yeah, well, what's that like when you want to feel really sexy?
And then you do the everything matching. That's when you wear the little skimpy black underwear and the...
I'm taking notes from the back of the room here. All right, good. So that question's gone well. Obviously, this is not always going to get as graphic as this, but since you're young and you're, I'm not going to say it. But other... You're bored in a farm. All right, well, so... But what's the story behind that? You can ask about anything. You can ask about jewelry, necklace, bracelet, earrings, a watch, any article, if she was wearing a jacket or if she's wearing shoes. You could ask about a bag. You could ask about a specific kind of fabric if it seemed unusual. And all those things will be conversation starters in a more platonic way. I mean, we're getting more into the crazy, flirty realm with Rita here because she's a crazy girl. But in general, you're probably going to want to reel it in a little bit.